Hey, a question I get all the time from clients and friends and colleagues is around how do I stay focused on my goals? Are there any tools that I recommend? And today I figured I just got a ship in the mail of the productivity planner that I use in from my client company, and I figured I'd share that with you so I can tell you a little bit about how I keep track of my day, my goals, my tasks. So what I got in the mail is the Michael Hyatt Full Focus Productivity Bundle, and it includes what's called the Full Focus Planner. So there's the planner. It also includes the Full Focus Journal, which this is new for me. I just started using this about 3 months ago. The planner I've been using for almost 2 years. And then also what comes in the bundle is a pack of notebooks. And these are great because this is what I keep track of notes for meetings or projects, or one of them I dedicate each quarter to my learning notebook, which what is a learning notebook? Essentially, all books that I read or videos that I watch online from mentors that I admire, I keep track of my notes in here so that I can come back and start really thinking about the things that I'm learning that resonate with me. How does that inspire me and keep me moving forward on my learning? So, real quick, let's talk about the Full Focus Planner. So, again, Full Focus Planner, this is from Michael Hyatt and Company. I've been using it since it came out I think he released it in April of 2017, and I signed up right away when I saw the email come through from him. A little background, I've been taking Michael Hyatt's goal setting course for about 5 years. It's called 5 Days to the Best Year, 5 Days to Your Best Year Ever. And it walks you through this process around how to reflect back on your prior year and then set really specific goals for yourself to help you paint a picture of what your best year you've ever had could look like. And then it gives you a framework for how do you actually make that year happen. And the Full Focus Journal was a tool that he released based off of a couple other programs that he has. But this essentially has been my execution tool that I've used. And how it starts off at the beginning of the planner, it helps you define your goals. So there's a page that you list your annual goals, and then page by page, it helps you break out in detail your goals. And he has both, you can do what he calls achievement goals versus habit goals. So an achievement goal, for example, could be um, maybe you running a marathon in 2019 versus a habit goal might be remembering to wash off your makeup every single night and doing that consistently for 30 days. So essentially, he teaches you how do you actually structure a goal. He uses a framework called Smarter Goals. It's SMART goals, but even better. So he teaches all of that in his course. He also has a book called Best Year Ever, which I highly recommend that. I give that a lot as a gift to people. Anyways, goal setting for me, I'm really big on it. I'm big about visualizing what the year ahead looks like and then making it happen. So, the difference why I like this planner versus a normal day planner is it all starts with goals. It helps you get clarity around where you're going. And the key thing about this planner is this is a quarterly planner. So, the thickness of this, you use this for 1 quarter. Here's my planner from this quarter. And at the end of March, I will switch to this planner. And essentially, for me, this might sound a little weird, but it creates this freshness, this newness. I mean, you think about every year when it becomes January 1st, there's this, it sounds silly, but there's this cleansing feeling around anything can happen. It's a new year, new you, fresh start. Goals seem attainable. Goals seem you have permission to dream and you have permission to break bad habits and start new. And I love that. And what this format does for me is it gives me permission to reset every single quarter, where I'm able to kind of flush the toilet on the things that I wasn't happy with around maybe goals that I didn't actually follow through on or commitments I made to myself that I didn't pursue. It also allows me to break free from were there goals that I set out that actually aren't really important to me? And how can I lean in harder on the ones that are? And what can I recommit to from a habits perspective, from a scheduling standpoint? What can I really lean into to ensure that the upcoming 90 days are really the best yet? So, in terms of structure, I am a huge advocate of a quarterly system because it really allows you to continue to evaluate where you are, where you've been, but more importantly, recommit to where you're going. So, excuse me, in terms of structure, how this works is every week you pick your top 3 things that you have to make traction on to get a little closer towards your goal. And you pick your weekly big 3. And then he helps you define, let's do an example on a Thursday, your top 3 daily goals. So it says list your 3 most important tasks for the day. So notice he calls it the daily big 3. Get your big 3 things out on paper. You can list in the other tasks, the other types of things you have to get done. I use a digital app. I use Wunderlist for me to keep track of all of my other to-dos. And here's what I do. Every single morning I pull out my planner. I review my goals and I review my weekly top 3 and say, okay, what do I need to make traction on today so that by the end of today, I feel like I'm one step closer towards the things that matter most. And each day, the daily big 3 might be a blend of business related things. It might be a blend of big projects with deadlines I have coming up, and it might be totally personal. So, for example, today, one of my daily big 3s is to prepare for my son's birthday party, which is this weekend. So I have to make cupcakes and prep party bags for 4-year-olds. And that's really important to me because spending quality time with my son and making sure that I'm carving out time for him is one of my bigger goals. So one of my daily big 3 today is to bake cupcakes. And I'm going to check that off the list this afternoon, and I feel pretty good about it. But another daily big 3 for me is today I need to write 6 blog posts for my upcoming content calendar. That is my biggest top goal for today. So the daily big 3 can be a blend of things. So what I do in the mornings, I get clear on what those 3 are. And then I open up my app on my phone to Wunderlist and I scroll through and say, what other tasks do I have to make sure that I knock out today? So for example, I need to call the pediatrician's office to make an appointment for my son. Also on my list today, I have 2 reoccurring subscriptions that I keep forgetting to cancel. So I wrote them on my to-dos for today to make sure that happens. These are tasks that have to happen, but they are not the most important thing to happen. So at the top goes my daily big 3, which are my priorities. And then I also have a running to-do list of the most important things pulled from my digital planner to make sure that I prioritize those for today. Now, also on here, it has a schedule. Now, you might say, well, I use my digital calendar for a schedule. Why would I need to use this? And I would say some days I use this, some days I don't. Full transparency. So when I find myself using this, what happens is in the morning when I review my schedule, I go through and say, what are the things that I have anchored on my calendar today that are immovable? So what appointments do I have? What meetings? What conference calls? Do I have a Facebook Live scheduled? What do I have on there? And then what other time do I have available? And that's when I will actually schedule in time for those other miscellaneous tasks. So I'll put maybe a 1-hour block to knock off administrative type tasks. And note that every single day I have pre-scheduled time on my calendar to accomplish my daily big 3. So for example, on today's calendar, I have a 3-hour time block labeled daily big 3. So that's a dedicated 3-hour time block for me to work on blog posts, which is my most important thing today. And then I also had put on my schedule today for this afternoon, bake cupcakes. I know it's a weird thing to talk about, but that's essentially how I run my calendar is I have things scheduled in my calendar and I have placeholders to make sure that I always have time blocked for my daily big 3. And then in the morning, I go through and I really plan out my day to make sure that how I'm spending my time aligns with my goals and priorities based off of things that matter most. Now, that's what the planner looks like. There are some other really great things about it, but that's all I'll share for now. And the other thing I'll share with you is the Full Focus Journal. So again, this is what that looks like. I just started using this in November. So it's been a few months since I started using this. So at one point about 5 years ago, I had the desire to start journaling. And I tried apps on my phone. I tried an actual physical journal and it caught wind for a little while, but I always felt myself falling out of habit. And what I had noticed is I would start writing at the end of the night what happened in my day. And the most eye-opening thing that I learned from journaling was how repetitive my days became. Especially working in a 9-to-5 job where I would do similar tasks every day or have similar challenges or similar projects or similar interactions. I noticed that day after day, my journal entries were becoming pretty similar. And that's how I actually started seeking inspiration from mentors, specifically online. I discovered Michael Hyatt and started listening to his podcast. And I started getting more clear around I needed to be more intentional with how I plan my day and how I reflected upon my day. And so I started journaling, but I never really found something that stuck. And this journal has been transformational for me. So let me read you a couple questions. This is a prompt journal. So it gives you some questions to reflect on and answer. And I do this journal first thing when I wake up every morning. I come in here into my office, I fill out my journal, and then I review my goals, and then I focus on filling out my planner for the day. Now, here's the types of questions. I complete this for the prior day. So if I'm completing it today, this is about what happened yesterday. The first question is, what happened in the past day? Then it asks, what were my biggest wins? What lessons did I learn? What am I thankful for right now? How am I feeling right now? What did I read or hear? This is awesome because I can really take notes on, am I progressing through learning? That is something that's very important to me. So what podcasts am I listening to? What articles am I reading? What audiobooks or actual physical books am I reading? Because investing in my own professional growth and development is very important to me. What stood out? So what were the key lessons that I learned? What can I do next to move forward on my goals? These are the questions that I answer every single morning, and it helps me reflect on a daily basis. Did I live the life that I set out to live every single day? Was I super intentional with my time, or did I just float? And these questions help me call it out and say, you know what, yesterday was not my best day. I floated through the day. I wasn't intentional. I was a little lazy. I didn't encounter the right types of interactions that are going to help me get one step closer to my goals. And it allows me to reset and say, what am I going to do differently? So this perfectly tees me up for completing my daily planner, to really get clear on, if I left this saying, what am I going to do next to move closer to my goals? Boom, that goes into my top 3 focus areas for the week or for the day. So if you're listening to this, some of you might be thinking, oh, this is awesome. This is what I need. And some of you might be thinking, holy crap, that's way too much work. Whatever camp that you fall on, I'll leave you with this. If you want to achieve big goals and you have really big aspirations for your life, you have to close the gap between what that dream is and what are the daily actions that you're going to do to accomplish that goal. Success doesn't just happen by chance. It doesn't just happen by having goals. Success is really from the daily habits that you create, so that way you start acting as the goal has already happened. So if you have a dream to run your own business, or if you have a dream to be a key player in the organization that you work in, you have to ask yourself, if I were a business owner, or if I was the right-hand guy right now, what type of habits would I have? If I was the type of person who had the house that you dream of, what are the types of things that you would be doing every single day? How would you be living your life? And the question for you is, do you have a morning routine or a morning ritual that you do every day to set yourself up for success, so that you know you have no margin of error on that pursuit of accomplishing your goals? Do you wait till December 31st every year to ask yourself, oh man, where have I been? Where do I want to go? I'm not making progress. Let me reset. Or do you do it on a quarterly basis? Or do you have something like this where you can be asking yourself with full clarity and transparency every single day, did I live my best life yesterday? And did I live it with intention and purpose? And if not, that's okay. Own it, take responsibility for it, brush yourself off and try again, in the words of a pretty good slow jam. Keep moving. Give yourself permission to reset and calibrate every single day so you can get a little bit closer to your dreams. Because honestly, they're not going to happen if you don't put the effort and energy to it. Success doesn't happen by chance. It's a choice. It's a choice that you make every single day and every single action that you take. And I hope that this review of the Michael Hyatt Planner Productivity System, I don't know what it's called. I just know I'm a huge fan of it. I am not an affiliate. They don't even have an affiliate program. I am just a big advocate because it's been so exceptionally helpful for me. So I hope this has been helpful for you too. And let me know what types of habits that you do and if this video is helpful.